You seem unusually peppy today. Did one of your favorite sporting teams succeed in their goals?
Yeah.
Adab, brothers, sisters, comrades, friends, and NBA fans. Welcome to the Top-35 NBA show. I am Kashif. I'm coming to you from a very nice and beautiful spring in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. I'm joined by Umar Ali from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and Ahmer and Umar from Brooklyn, New York State, United States of America. I guess we should just start. Do we want to talk about the Final Four, Umar? I think you're probably the only one who watched it, Ahmer. Did you watch? I didn't watch a second of it, so
I watched the second half.
Any thoughts?
It was really ugly. College basketball, when it's not top prospects playing, rough watch.
Was there anyone in the Final Four who will be picked in the lottery?
Ooh, lottery? No.
Okay. Who cares?
I don't think so now.
Okay, so we're just going to move on from that. We'll focus on, we'll just start immediately with the Lakers and just the disaster that has occurred in the last week, which is Luka is out at least a month with a hamstring, and usually those go longer than a month. I think he's gone to Europe to recover. And then Reaves is out 4 to 6 weeks, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
I was looking at the Lakers lineup, like it's
rough.
Ayton, James, Laveria, Smart, and Kennard is like they're basically a 15-win team.
You forgot Bronny James getting a lot of minutes now.
Yeah, but
what, really? Oh,
they
no
have
idea
to,
about that one.
They have to play him.
And the beneficiary of this is going to be the Houston Rockets, because Minnesota is also in free fall. They've gone 6-9 their last 15, and the Rockets now are basically going to play a lottery team in the first round, regardless of whether they have home court or not. That's going to be a 4 or 5 game series.
And is Ant out a while? He's out a while, right?
We're still waiting because he still has to.
I saw some story. He has the same knee injury as Steph had.
Yeah, it's like Jumper's knee.
Yeah, and so Denver's the other beneficiary, because Denver's going to get the 3 seed. They're going to get a really bad a Minnesota team that seems to have imploded, and they get San Antonio in the second round instead of Oklahoma City. So where do you want to start, Umar Ali?
Well, I mean, if we're going to look at the Lakers, I think it's pretty obvious that without Luka Doncic, this team wasn't going to go very far. Without Austin Reaves, this is a bottom
and Reaves,
team.
To be noted, hasn't really been playing like an all-star since November.
Yeah, since his original injury, like he hasn't been exactly the same. Like they could have probably held down the 3rd seed with Reaves over the week without Luka, but without him, I just don't see how they win any games. Like this is
they're in danger of actually dropping to the 5 and Houston having home court.
Yeah, for sure. The only thing is, I wouldn't be surprised if the Houston Rockets still choked that series away. It wouldn't surprise me.
Against the Lakers?
No, I don't think so.
The Rockets are just not good. The Rockets
on.
they're not good. They're not.
Bronny James?
It's true. That is true. A lot of Bronny James.
The Rockets are on the season since January 1st. They're 10th. Since the All-Star game, they're 9th. So they're not like bad. But yeah, like what'll happen is there'll be one game where 3-point shooting and a letdown, the Lakers kind of win. Ahmer, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just, just from a product standpoint. I mean, I haven't watched as many games as I should have this year, but I was looking forward to the playoffs. I was looking forward to seeing the Lakers. Like, they seem to be playing well and just, seeing what could happen in the West. But I think it's just so catastrophic to see at the end. I don't know what this Europe trip is that he's going to take and what sort of
going to do the
weird regenerative stem cell shit.
It's the blood tectonic stuff that they don't allow in the States.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Why is it illegal here? What's going on with that? But it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, because there's a stricter regulatory environment there, and in Canada, like, it has to do something with some company, some industry saying, we're going to lose money, don't allow it. No, that's how it works all the time, right? Remember what was Cory Booker's famous, I'm voting against the the pharma bill that Sanders convinced Republicans to, and his argument was that Canada's not their regulations for pharmaceuticals are more lax than America's, and everyone's like, shut up. But yeah, because I think the other thing, I think we were talking about this, we've been talking, Ant, Cade, Luka can't get, I think they're applying for the hardship exemption, but apparently I didn't know there's also this ridiculous rule that you have to play 20 minutes.
Yes, to qualify for a game.
Only 2 games can be under 20 minutes. So Wemby is now potentially screwed because he also got that contusion last night against Philadelphia.
He's missing the game. They said
he's going to miss the rest of the season.
Yeah, and they can't just put him in for a minute because he already has 2 games of less than 20 minutes.
They have to play him for 20 minutes.
I saw the headline. They're going to actually play him at least 1 game.
That's a bad idea.
Right. Well, no, because I think the issue is that because just the absurdity of it, it's not
so dumb.
Well, no, it's also because the bigger problem is these awards are now tied to contracts. And so you have guys who aren't going to meet these simply because the NBA decided this arbitrary 65 games, 20 minutes, and
wait. Yeah. It wasn't completely arbitrary. I mean, the union, this was collectively bargained. Like, the provisions in this were part of the CBA. Like, the players had some say in what happened here.
No.
Is it 65 win? No. The 65 win.
The 65 games they didn't. They had a say in the contracts.
No, they had a say in the way that like the whole minutes and all of that was collectively bargained. Like, that's why there are so many rules here. The union did have a say in this. Like, this wasn't just This was not just dropped on them because, like you said, it does impact salaries when it comes to awards and all that stuff, right?
Is this gonna backfire on the owners because like some scrubs are gonna get like max contracts?
Absolutely. There's gonna be guys.
It's gonna be so great. I hope it happens. Like, I was saying, I want Jaylen Brown to win MVP just because he gets one before Tatum, so he's a Finals MVP, and then the Boston implodes. That's like my dream. That's my dream long con, where like Jaylen Brown wins MVP.
So you know what's really weird though is that the games and minutes don't apply to the 6th man or most improved or rookie. It's really weird.
No, and isn't it specifically all players who, like, they don't really care if, like, you don't get incentives on that, right? Yeah, right. Yeah, I think it's the All-Stars they were most concerned about.
You get incentives if you get most improved or 6th man.
No, but you don't get like max contracts. So.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Yes, that is true.
I think it's only Defensive Player of the Year, right? And
no, you get bonuses. No, you will get bonuses for winning awards. But you're right; it won't change the structure of your contract.
But the bonuses aren't make or break. Like, it's not like
no. You guys are correct. You guys are correct in that regard.
The NBA is so how the NBA is just the talk is just on tanking and this.
Because it's made a mess
the whole fucking season.
Yeah, but it's made a mess of what's happening here. Like Kashif's saying is,
I know, like
there's like 5 of the best players in the league are gonna qualify. It's so dumb.
I mean, it's just like the NBA is so just like a unique league in that regard, like, where you're talking more about process shit so much. It's just like so what they've done to the regular season, and it's just so ridiculous.
Well, no, it is. I think all sports you have the same problem in that you have a bunch of old retired guys who just complain about it all the time. And I think the difference with the NBA is you have that one show which probably dominates NBA coverage more than any other studio show dominates its sports coverage. Like, I don't think like there's an equivalent for MLB or the NHL where there's this one studio, even the NFL, there's one studio show where
I would include podcasts. Like I was talking to like a friend's chain about how many games we've all watched. Look, I'm not the best person to watch games, but we were all talking. I was like saying like I probably have consumed more ancillary NBA content from podcasts, and the entertainment around the NBA drama is more entertaining to me than it is the actual games until I get to the playoffs. Playoffs, I'll be locked in. But like, it's just so interesting. It's so interesting.
But that's been the case for, I want to say, like, this whole century. Essentially, the off-court, the trade talks and all that, the free agency talk that we used to always talk about, like, that always drove the narrative.
I don't know if it was as bad like when the Cavs and Warriors were playing. Like I feel like we didn't talk about.
Oh, I feel like
all this.
all we talked about were what's going to happen in the offseason, who's going to go where, who's going to join who. I feel like,
But it wasn't like we were talking about 20% of the league not trying on purpose.
yeah, fair. That's fair.
20% of the stars not playing at any given night. Maybe I don't know what that
The stars not playing is probably a bigger thing. The tanking thing, I feel like that changes year over year. Like this year, it's obvious that people are doing it because this is going to be a historic draft year. Like if we looked at the season of what the 02-03 season, pretty sure teams were tanking like crazy that year.
Well, teams have always tanked. I mean,
exactly. Like it's really dependent on the incoming class, right? Like
but it wasn't so. It wasn't so like.
Like 2 years ago, there wasn't this kind of tanking, but last year there kind of was because Cooper Flag, people wanted him.
I just don't think it's like a. It's now just a 3 to 5 year plan, and like. It's a little bit different in that respect. I mean, I think teams have just been historically bad, so they've always had high draft picks and they've been like they're just poorly led. But now it's like, hey, we're hiring a guy just to run a tanking.
I think it's also
strategy.
Teams. So many teams, because around what was it? It was around the mid. We'll get off this subject, but in the mid-teens, they started trading away all their future draft picks for stars, and so you had on the one hand you had a top-heavy league. And then all the draft assets were stuck with, half the teams. And those teams decided, let's just maximize these assets. And then the NBA, the structure of the CBA also incentivizes getting good rookies on that rookie contract. So, but Victor, though, this is all just precautionary stuff, the injury, right? Like, it's not like they expect him long-term. He's going to miss weeks.
They're getting an MRI.
Are they? Okay.
If it's a broken rib, like this is a much more serious problem.
Then it's a real issue.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, so far, the indications like, bruised rib, something like that, probably a week or two.
But because most of the playoff races are now kind of wrapped up, we have a good idea of what's going to happen, except really at the bottom. In the East, we're just trying to figure out who's going to be the 6th seed. Toronto has a half-game lead on it.
No, they're now 7th.
Oh, they lost today?
No, they're playing, but currently the winner of this gets the tiebreak. But as of right now,
who are they playing right now?
Miami's
41-37.
Orlando's... So they're tied with somebody, but
Toronto is tied with Philadelphia and Charlotte.
Yeah, so Toronto is 7th because of the tiebreak between Philly and them, or something.
No, but they have a game in hand on Philly and Charlotte. That's why. So we're waiting on that, and then in the West, it's simply a matter of does LA fall all the way to 5? I don't think LA can fall to 6 because they're already at 50 wins, and I think they win the tiebreak versus Minnesota. But the West playoffs have become much less the playoffs are much less interesting now.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of like the major interest, I think, is, Cade. How does he look when he comes back? What do we get out of Tatum? But in the West, you've eliminated the Lakers. You've maybe eliminated the Wolves. Even if Curry makes it, the best the Warriors can be is the 8th seed, and they'll just get into the Oklahoma City buzzsaw.
They're going to get destroyed.
Maybe Denver is the team who benefits the most from all this because they get the 3 seed. They get San Antonio potentially with a hurt Wemby. San Antonio is, I think, the most inexperienced playoff team since like a decade. But that was something we were going to discuss today because last year what we did is we did that one show where we said, okay, if you just want to win the title, rank the players. And so I kind of did. I ranked based on, we did the roster breakdowns last week. And so I looked at all the superstars and secondary stars and I kind of ranked them. But the injury stuff is where you get the problem, right? And so it was kind of taking into account that they are injured. I tried to do a ranking. So what I thought I'd do is I'll give you my 1 through 35. And then do you want to argue over it while I give it, or do you want to hear the whole 1 through 35 first?
Argue is a give it.
Okay. I think the best player you would take is Joker, and I don't think that's arguable unless someone wants to argue Shea or Wemby. Is anyone going to make that argument? And then I said for number 2, my position on Joker is I just think he's the best offensive player in the league, maybe ever. Just offensive. My number 2 was Shea. And my argument was that he's the best two-way guard since MJ. Is there any player you would want over Shea to win the title from now going forward?
Wait, hold on. Just so we're clear, is this one season or is this like I'm starting a franchise?
No. This is just this
just
year.
this playoff.
It's the
no,
exact
I just want to make sure.
same thing as
I
last
just
year.
want to make sure. Just want to make sure.
Right,
Yes, I agree.
yeah.
Yes.
Amber?
I agree with that one. He's proven it.
I had Wemby at 3, but that was before the chest injury. Initially it was going to be Wemby, Luka, but then Luka went down, so I had to move Luka back because it's kind of like if you don't know he's going to be there, that causes a problem. But I basically went Wemby 3, and I had Ant at 4. But now we're questioning that because of the knee. Like what is the full situation? Because the thing with Ant, I think the good thing he did this year was he decreased his 3-point rate and he increased his free throw rate, which I think was a big thing he had to do. And I thought that would portend well for the playoffs. It's just him attacking the basket, getting to the line more. But what do we think about him coming back? Like, Umar, is it like how?
I mean, if he's gonna be impacted by the knee and he can't get to the rim, then he probably is gonna be settling for jumpers again, right? So it's hard to put him that high. Are you doing this East West? Because now I would say that when he's actually lower than a lot of these guys.
Well, yeah. So the thing is, I didn't know about Ant the extent of the injury.
That's fair.
But that was the whole thing. Like now that I obviously he falls. So number 5, I put Kawhi, just because he's healthy. He's 4th in PER. He's one of the 5 greatest playoff wings ever. I would take him, especially because I have conditioning concerns with Cade as well. We haven't seen, Cade hasn't played in a while. The other guys would be Jaylen Brown, Mitchell, and Brunson.
How many games has Kawhi played this year?
He's in the low 60s. He's
might
hit 65.
I think he's going to qualify.
Okay, now I want him to win MVP.
But he will be first.
It'll be Jaylen Brown over him. That's
he'll be first team All NBA.
Could you imagine if he was MVP this year?
Because he's 4th in PER across the advanced stats. He's basically.
I'd put Kawhi. I just don't think he's gonna play enough games because of the bounce. But I mean, I'd put Kawhi. I mean,
like that list of like Cade, Jaylen, Mitchell, Brunson. I would take Cade just because I think offensive creation in the playoffs you want. But then I would probably take Jaylen over Mitchell and Brunson simply because of his defense.
Yep. I would agree with that.
The other thing is I didn't realize as a New York Knick, Brunson averages 29.9 points a game in the playoffs, which is fucking nuts. And then Mitchell is 7th all-time in points per game. I just prefer Mitchell to Brunson principally because of just how relentlessly he attacks the basket. I know, Umar, you prefer Brunson.
I'd flip it. I would flip it, yeah. But I think you're right. It's just a preference thing.
Ahmer, thoughts on that?
No, I agree with that. If Mitchell wins 2 rounds, would you put him above Brunson this year, Umar?
If Mitchell
wins, you just prefer Brunson?
If he wins 2 rounds, it would be nice if he actually beat Brunson for once. That'd be a nice change.
But they might not play though, right?
They may not. I mean, but you're right. He has to get to a conference finals. Like that would go a long way.
Okay. And then at 10, that's where I slotted in Luka. Because the rest of the guys in this list aren't really superstars. Those top 9, and I was like, okay, if I'm missing Luka for a month, I can handle that month just because of how good Luka is. Because if he's healthy, he would have been in the top 5. No questions asked.
I would have put him 3.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like it's an argument after Joker and Shea. It's your choice of Wemby or Luka, what you prefer. I would prefer Wemby. You would prefer Luka. 11, I put Curry for the same reason. Curry, I think we forget when he's healthy, he's just awesome. It's just that we have no idea. Apparently, he's what the situation is with him.
Would you take Curry over Durant right now?
Yes, because of the prospect. Curry's ceiling is higher than Durant's. And it'll like.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is, if you are taking injuries into consideration, like Curry's Curry can't play 25 minutes right now.
Well, the thing with Curry is that with Durant, that's where I'm measuring that. I'll take the risk with Curry. I'm willing, like, I understand he should probably be lower, but I'd be willing to take the risk just because I think Durant has. I'm somewhat iffy on Durant. Like, he's since the All-Star game, it's late in games, it's been really bad with him, and that was supposed to be the problem he's supposed to solve. And but then now we get to like the guys who are definitely not superstars, like who are the secondary stars. But the first 12, I think there's no one else. Yeah. So of those guys, I kind of put Jalen Johnson at 13. Just because of his versatility, and I value his offensive creation. My big problem with Johnson is not just the shooting, it's also the shot selection. There are times with him where you look at where he in the half court, but basically
Above Tyrese Maxey.
That's what I was going to say.
So that was the other one. I have Maxey at 14, but then my notes, it said he should probably be with Spider and Brunson. He's basically a similar player.
I would have him above KD and Curry right now.
Okay.
Current.
And then
he's got to show me something.
And then at 15,
has he played well?
Not really. He hasn't played bad.
Everybody's talking him up. Everybody's talking him up.
Well, he doesn't look bad.
Jason Tatum always like
it's his efficiency is just so awful right now. It's hard to consider him.
Well, Tatum's coming up soon. At 15, I put Booker, who I think is having a good season, and we tend to forget his playoff career is 28-5-5 on 49, 39, 90 splits, which is just awesome. Then the next group, it was like J-Dub and Tatum, but we have no clue with them. But I actually took Chet at 16.
You would take these guys over Joel Embiid?
Yes.
No.
And LeBron?
LeBron is in the...
I know LeBron.
LBJ's 32 on my list.
If he was the
32?
third best... Yeah, but he's going to be their best player, ever. Like, if he was their third best player... He's playing
every third day, dude.
Who? LeBron?
It's going to be bad. It's going to be
That's a little bit disrespectful.
32 is really low.
32 is really low.
It's really low. It's really
below
low.
Chet?
Yeah, Chet, come on.
Come on, fucking
any
Chet.
day of the week.
No.
Chet's possibly the second best defender of the league, and he can shoot threes and get you 20. LeBron is shooting 31% from three. And you know all the worst Laker lineups include LeBron James.
I'm not saying he
it's not as bad as last year. I think he's still a bit of a positive, but like,
come on.
I'm more aggrieved over bad? The Embiid. This is weird, Amber. You're the one usually dogging me for defending LeBron James. You're really going
32 though. 32.
That's pretty low.
Come on.
I need to see the rest of these names before I start complaining about 32.
I mean, you're just like Steph more than LeBron. You just put LeBron. You put Steph at 12. Steph hasn't even played this year.
I did.
LeBron's played 57 games.
I did J-Dub at 17 based on last year, but his shooting really worries me.
Not good.
J-Dub hasn't even played properly.
It's not that he's not good. It's the 3-point shooting is a problem.
Yeah, but he hasn't been the same player.
Of course he hasn't. But it's listen. I'd still take a chance on J-Dub over LeBron. If that's what you're asking me.
I don't know.
He hasn't been better than LeBron though.
And I took Tatum at 18.
Okay.
I took Murray at 19. He's got a career high in everything this year.
Which Murray?
Jamal Murray.
Come on.
Murray
you guys hate Jamal Murray.
I know, but he has this year. If you act like
I would take Jamal over LeBron. I would agree with this. Yes, there's a couple of these other names I wouldn't, but let's continue.
I took Schengen at 20.
This is absurd.
Only because you can run the offense through him at times.
Where is Joel
through LeBron too? You can run the offense through LeBron.
I put Embiid's last at 35 because we have we literally have a situation where he's tweeting out, "I wanted to play, the team won't let me." I have no idea what's going on with Embiid.
He's going to be fine.
He's going to be fine. Anytime he's playing, he's killing it.
Even last night, after Wemby went out, it's not like he still shot like shit for the game. 8 of 19, and they got whipped by basically a Wemby-less Spurs. I took Amen at 21. I would put him higher, but he can't shoot. I took Duran at 22 because I said his D, toughness, rebounding, finishing, they're just built for the playoffs. I took Mobley at 23. If he could get back to last year's level, he'd be obviously much higher.
Where's James Harden?
I took Scotty Barnes at 24. Again, elite defense, high level playmaking, but there's questions of how will he fit.
He's not even going to be in the playoffs, for God's sake.
James Harden's too low.
I put Harden at 25, and I just put we know the story with James Harden. I put De'Aaron Fox at 26 because I think his 3-point shooting is a real concern.
Cat's 36. He's outside your list.
I put Paolo at 27.
Oh, come on.
Because history says Paolo's still.
Come on, man.
Paolo still performs in the playoffs. He gets the free throw
over LeBron.
LeBron James.
Any day of the week. The Lakers would in a heartbeat be like,
absurd.
yes, give us Paolo, take LeBron.
This is absurd.
For this playoffs.
That's not the list. That's not the list that you're doing.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing for this year. I'm doing the who would I want for this year's playoffs.
Yeah, you would want LeBron James. He's better than right. He's okay. Okay. Anyways, continue. Please continue.
I put Avdia at 28. Again, offensive creation. Offensive creation.
Come on. Out of here.
I put Cat at 29. And
above LeBron?
We know the story there because he at least gives you something. I put Bam at 30. I put Bane at 31. Then I put LBJ 32.
Desmond Bane.
I put
over LeBron.
Yeah. You know what? Because Desmond Bane does two things night in, night out that LeBron doesn't do that are valuable in the playoffs. Desmond Bane hits threes and plays defense.
How's he shooting this year?
He's at like 38, 39%.
Okay. I'm legitimately asking. I thought he was
Franz I would put much higher, but he's also got
He hasn't played any fucking games.
That's why he's at 33. He's injured. And then Reaves I put at 34. And then Embiid 35. Basically, the last three guys are just injury guys. Embiid, I don't trust to.
LeBron James is entirely too low. Just crazy.
Based on what?
He's performing better than I want to say. I'll give you your top 20. I'm not gonna say he should be in the top 20. I don't think.
Do you know how bad LeBron James, other than the Dallas game, has played his last 20 games? Have you actually looked at his numbers?
I mean, when they were winning games,
he's got everybody, all that
right.
riffraff is out of there.
While they were winning those games,
he was not. He is not shooting well. He's just he is among the worst defenders in the league at this stage. Like it's just he can't do anything on defense.
You have Şengün at 21.
He can't shoot. Yeah, but
Şengün at 21.
The difference is Luka can carry an offense. LeBron can't even carry an offense.
I'm not saying anything about Luka, but
right.
you have Şengün at 21. You can't talk about and you have James Harden at 25.
And because Şengün and Harden are better players, they provide you more than LeBron does. LeBron is a third. Like you can, however you feel about Şengün, he's not a star. He's definitely not playing at the level he was like the first 20 games where people are like, oh, he's the 14th, 15th best player in the league. You can run your offense through Şengün for stretches. Like you can legitimately go and say in the half court, here you go. LeBron, you can't do that with.
Okay, so let's say you have your list.
Yeah.
You have your list.
Yeah.
Who do you think from your list is going to outperform your ranking? Like who do you think, hey, I have him too low. I think he could actually do better.
The guys who would be J-Dub just because he returns to form, right? And if he returns to form, you're dealing with an elite defender, low 20s, 5 assists, and he helps you late in the game. Potentially, depending on how much he gets into shape and his shooting, Tatum could. The other guy would be if Jamal Murray could play like he did in 23 during that playoffs, you would have to put him like during the 23 playoffs. Jamal Murray was legitimately awesome. I just think we've seen he's been so bad in the last 2 years in the playoffs at times that there's question marks there. But those would be the three initially looking at it that they kind of jump off the page. If Cleveland makes a deep run, it'll be because Mobley's defense has just taken them to that level. Because I think like they've actually been really good since the All-Star break, January 1st, but the defense is still a problem there. I think them and Denver amongst the top teams. Them, Denver, and the Lakers are the worst defensively.
Yeah. I actually think the person that's going to perform at Cleveland might be Harden. I don't know why. I think Mobley just... It doesn't tell you about Mobley. It's just... On that team. I don't think he can take it because he's going to be crowded out by those two. I think actually Harden in this setting might be a little bit...
Yeah, the biggest advantage Harden has is for the first time late in a game, you don't even have to give him the ball. Like, you pass midcourt and just tell Mitchell, go create something. Like at least even in Philadelphia, Embiid was still dependent on Harden kind of setting the offense up. You don't even need like that. That I think could be the big advantage you have this year.
I agree. I think it's going to be very interesting to see how that team evolves. I don't know. They have a lot of injuries right now, though, so they're role players.
So the most egregious for you guys is LeBron so low.
Danny Avdia
And
being
Danny
on the
Avdia.
list at all. Just being on the list.
He's been better this year than LeBron James. There's no comparison between him and LeBron James.
But would you take Danny Avdia versus LeBron in the playoff?
Yes. Why would I take LeBron James in the playoffs?
Why would you take Danny Avdia?
He's a better player than LeBron James right now.
Okay, so
No.
He's a better scorer. Go ahead.
If Reaves and Luka are out,
Yeah.
okay, so this team is like you said, it's a 17-win team or something, right? It's like
it's no, but any team in the league, if you took their two best players out, would immediately.
Do you think LeBron could get them to 2 wins? Or who are they playing?
They're going to play the Rockets most likely.
2 wins against the Rockets.
Hold on. What do you think Danny Avdia is shooting from the floor this year?
Oh, I know his 3-point percentage is shit, and even his 2-point percentage is low.
Forget his 3-point percentage.
I think it's like 44.
Because that's also pretty bad.
I want to say 43 or 44.
It's 44.
Yeah.
That's better than LeBron James?
LeBron shooting 51%.
He's a better offensive player than LeBron James?
Yeah, he creates more offense than LeBron James does.
No, he doesn't. What are we talking about?
He does.
No, but imagine LeBron.
Because remember, LeBron has the biggest advantage LeBron has is he's an afterthought.
No, but he's not an afterthought anymore.
But during the whole season, Danny Avdia is the Portland Trailblazers offense. And and the Blazers are going to be a 44-win team, a 45-win team in a brutal Western Conference. LeBron is literally the third option on offense. You don't pay attention to. Okay.
Wait.
You don't pay attention to him.
They're not going to win 44 games.
Right? Or whatever, 42, 43. Portland's going to win.
Max is 43.
Right? In a brutal Western Conference, it should be noted. Right? Portland right now is, right? So, and like you watch a Lakers game, your entire defense is just focused on stopping Luka and then secondarily stopping Reaves. You're kind of like LeBron. Yeah, go ahead. You want to run your offense through LeBron? No problem at all.
I'm surprised you didn't have Derek White.
I was going to.
I would have had no problem.
You love.
I would have had no
problem
with Derek White being higher than
okay.
Most of your top
outside the list. Do you think could make the list? Like that you actually?
I would say Derek White, legitimately.
Maybe one of the Charlotte guys you could argue for should be on it, just because of since January 1st, they basically, I was looking at it, they're number 2 in differential and they're number 4 in win percentage.
They're still not making the playoffs. It doesn't matter. Why are we talking about non-playoff teams?
But they are. They're going to be one of the play-in teams.
It's not a playoff team.
Right. And, right. Like,
listen,
Miami was a play-in team and went to the finals 3 years ago.
Yeah, they were the 7th seed, not the 9 or 10 or whatever the hell.
Right now, Charlotte is tied in a 3. They're part of that log jam.
Yes, I know.
Right. And in a single elimination, I'll take Charlotte over Toronto, Philadelphia, Orlando, or Miami. Like, no questions asked. Based on the way they're playing right now, they're just playing much better than any of those 3 teams are. Or those 4 teams, sorry. Someone like, say, Norm Powell, who could go off and have a big scoring, like a hot shooting night. A hot shooting series. He's someone. Aaron Gordon is someone too, just for all the different things that he does for the Nuggets. I I don't
Castle?
know if Castle
Castle?
offensively is there yet. Defensively, he's a monster, and I actually think he runs the offense as a passer better than Fox does sometimes when I watch them. Uh, Maybe one of the Minnesota guys, right? Like, can Gobert turn back the clock and be the defender he was, say, 2 years ago? Even he's actually had a pretty good season. I'm trying to think who else.
Julius Randle.
Again, like he had that one, like last year there were times where he did play like that. And so if Randall's hitting threes, yeah, he
They're going to
becomes.
probably need him to do that for some time for them to win.
I'm trying to think who else. I think there's no one else on Detroit. Maybe one of the wings on the Knicks, you could argue. Just because if they're playing awesome on defense and hitting threes, like there's a lot of value there. It's just that those two are more like a combo. They work so well because you have both of them. Philadelphia, I don't think Edgecombe is there. Miami, no, we've already said that maybe Powell can do it. Atlanta has no one outside of Jalen Johnson who really could fit that. I mean, can McCollum average 25 points a game in a series? Possibly. I doubt it. But he would need basically Jalen Johnson setting him up for all those shots. Out in the West, there's no one really on OKC because I already have the three guys. Denver, we already mentioned Gordon. No one on the Lakers, obviously. There's no Rocket who's going to do anything of consequence. If Dylan Brooks comes back fully healthy, he was playing really well before he got injured.
He's back.
He's back? Okay.
Yeah. He started, I think, 2 games ago.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's a single warrior beyond Steph. No, I don't think Draymond can do it anymore. But yeah. I think that's about it.
Brandon Ingram?
He had that one series against... It was the play-in game.
It was a play-in game against the Warriors.
Well, it was the play-in game against the Pelicans, wasn't it? No, it was the Pelicans
he was on the Pelicans.
It was the Pelicans against the Thunder. And then they won, and they had the first-round series. Who did they play that year? Was it the Lakers they played that? No.
No, they played someone who destroyed them. They got
swept. But he had moments where he did look good. Yeah. Right, where you could see that, okay, this is what it is, that late in the game, that length, that creation. It's just, I have no faith he's going to, like, he's had so many opportunities to do it, and he hasn't. And whatnot. So looking at the new playoff picture, though, who do you look at as being in the conference finals?
In the West?
In both sides.
I think the West, I would go with OKC and Denver, assuming Denver gets to the 3 seed.
Denver is the 3 seed right now, and they have...
Which is what pretty sure that's what I had previously. In the East, I had the Knicks and the Pistons. The way things are shaping up, I would change that to probably the Cavs and the Celtics.
Ahmer?
Yeah, I think so too.
Because your first round series
I think I had Spurs. I think I had Spurs OKC when we did our picks.
Yeah, that's what
I was
I
optimistic
had.
about.
But that assumed LA would maintain the 3 seed, whereas I think Denver, San Antonio.
When we were assuming Denver was going to have to play OKC
in the second round.
Yeah,
and I think if Denver has to play, because what I would be interested in is, I think they're going to have to play Cornet and Wemby. I'd be interested in them playing them together.
That's actually what I was going to say, is that it's rebounding is what's going to be the problem. Like, we've already discussed that you're going to have to play Harrison Barnes, and that's just not going to get it done. What other size do they have? And if you play Luke Cornet, what do you have coming off the bench?
Well, no. What I mean when you play them together, it's because it's interesting. Denver's actually, I think they're number one. They're the number 1 or 2 rebounding team in the league.
Yeah, but that's because they have both Joker and Gordon.
Well, no,
and Gordon.
Well, no, Gordon is famous for big games not getting rebounds. Like, Gordon is not a guy who's going to battle for rebounds. It's that Jonas has always been a great rebounder. Joker's always been a great rebounder. I do think for stretches, though, it would be interesting for this because the whole problem is Joker kind of negates Wemby's value to you defensively because Wemby has to stick so close to him. Whereas if you can get, and Joker's still putting up, like he's still scoring and setting people up. Whereas if you can have stretches of the game where you can put Cornette on Joker and then just have Wemby on Gordon being the guy who roams, who's making sure there's no lob threats, that makes it very interesting for San Antonio.
But then what does San Antonio do against Jonas? Right? Like,
No. But I'm saying though, you would do this for stretches of a game. You wouldn't start the game this way, but maybe
fair enough. Okay.
Yeah, like maybe
5-minute stretch or something like that.
Yeah, and maybe in the last 5 minutes of the game, if because the other question is how Wemby's going to have to play more minutes, and we don't know. Is he conditioned? Does he have the conditioning to play 35, 36 minutes a night of playoff basketball? Remember, Embiid, that was always the problem Embiid had, was that he just wasn't used to it because they were managing him so much that he just didn't develop that. And so I think that's the big concern with Wemby. Ahmer, thoughts?
No, I think I haven't looked at the matchup. I mean, I think I was thinking about the Eastern Conference Finals picks. Pretty optimistic about the Cavs for some reason. I don't have any history to back it on, but I just feel like no history to back it on. But let's see how this team functions. The Knicks worry me to the extent that I think if they play Philly, having attended 2 of those games, I don't necessarily think that that's going to be some sort of fait accompli. I actually think that Philly could do some damage on them. And, I have a feeling.
Even since the All-Star game, Philly is 13-12. I know it's the Maxey injury, but at no point has Philly shown it's anything but kind of a 500 team. And the Embiid minutes on defense.
I just think it's more like matchup plus Philly, New York vibes. I don't know if they're built like that. The Knicks are. I just have this weird feeling about that series and just all those young guys that could throw out there and whatever.
The last time it was Philly, New York, the Knicks still had Hartenstein, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this would be a tough series for Cat.
Yeah, they have Mitchell Robinson, right?
Yeah, but he can't play more than 20 minutes. Whether it's foul trouble or
can't play more than 25 minutes.
I don't know. Maybe he can. Apparently he can. He's saying he can.
Right.
So who knows?
No, I'm actually just worried about. Well, I guess the one thing is when I saw them play, they had McCain. They made that trade, but I was very impressed by how they played. I was impressed by Maxey the most because I don't think he was he didn't care. He didn't care about Brunson.
We haven't mentioned Paul George, which he's looked pretty decent in the few games he's been back.
What's he doing?
He's been scoring. Really?
Pretty well. He doesn't. He has to. Him and Edgecombe are their 3/4 options, right? And that's the perfect role for him at this stage.
Yeah, I actually worried for that. I have a ticket in each round. We bought our tickets, and I'm like, that first round, I don't necessarily think that that's going to be fun.
I think defensively, they're just such a train wreck. They have no one who can defend.
Yeah.
That's the big thing with Embiid. What you're seeing these days is that yes, he has mass, and there's still the anticipation is there, and the knowledge is still there, but you see it more on the defensive end where he's not the same dominant force he used to be. Embiid used to be, but and also with Cat, it's kind of if Cat is hovering around the 3-point line and you're bringing Embiid out to the 3-point line, his ability to recover from there to help defend the rim, especially with Brunson and all those attacks he's going to have, and.
Yeah, I guess I saw the 2 games without Embiid. Maybe that's part of it. But I thought Embiid was playing well when he came back originally, in his limited time. Is he that bad now?
I know it's. We just don't know anything of playoff basketball is so much more intense. We just have no idea what he's capable of. It's even why with Tatum, it's okay, you've done this in the regular season, but what's going to happen in the second round when you're going to be covered every possession by either Bridges or Anunoby, right? That's a whole different beast you're dealing with.
I just can't trust a team with Mikal Bridges and Cat. Like, I don't trust anything about. I like OG's fine. OG's,
I actually think Cleveland, that Atlanta matchup in the first round is not going to be a cakewalk.
Well, 4-5? Yeah, that's rough.
I mean,
that's going to be rough too. I think that's going to be rough too.
Atlanta, since the All-Star break, has basically been the second best defense in the league.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be a cakewalk either. I definitely think that's
James Johnson is the guy who they don't have anyone Cleveland to cover him. Like, he's the like that wing, a big wing. Like, what do you like? You're going to just take turns with Strus and Ellis and Tyson minutes.
Tyson.
I just think they have enough. Too. I just think
I don't know,
for some reason.
All I'm saying is it's going to be tricky. Like, it would be much better if they could play the Raptors or even the 76ers. Like, I would prefer
or the
them.
Magic.
Yeah, right. What's going to be interesting also is whoever is the 8 seed, that Detroit series, if anything's wrong with Cade, suddenly, like, if there's the always, like, I would, regardless, I'd rather play Detroit than Boston in the first round.
Yeah, I think every team would be
right. Especially now with Cade, it's like,
what would be awesome? As much as I've been dogging the Charlotte Hornets,
playing Detroit,
Detroit being the first round matchup would be a fun one to watch, especially given the fight and all that happened.
I also think Charlotte and Boston will be a fun series because you'll just see Boston out execute Charlotte late in games.
I just feel like they would just beat them because they're just better than them.
So I don't think they're actually that much better. I think their experience would matter, but I think what you'd see is you'd see the athleticism problem.
So they're actually playing today, right now.
Right.
I don't know what the scores in that game is. So,
any other just general thoughts as we head into? Because I guess the next time we will speak will be the play-in game will have started, right?
Depends.
So 3 more games. So week
the last day of the season is Sunday.
Yeah, okay.
So playing games will be 1 week today.
Yeah,
Tuesday,
so
Wednesday.
The next episode will be our full predictions for what's going to happen, playing games, everything.
Yeah. Oh, wow, the Cavs play the Hawks twice coming up.
Yeah, there's someone else. I think some team plays Miami twice. I was looking at someone's schedule.
The Cavs play the Miami on the last day. That's interesting. So Cavs need to win those 2 games. So
I think it was. I was looking at the schedule.
So you beat them now versus beat them later. So you want to try. You want to try your hardest.
Miami
not
plays
first.
Toronto twice, back to back in Toronto. So they play right now, and then they play again on Thursday. So they can actually make up the distance, but that they have between them if they were. Right now they're getting their ass kicked. So looks like they're going to be dead.
Really. Oh, that's an interesting little week. I didn't realize you're playing.
I also think it's towards the end, like, because I think tonight the Lakers play the Thunder, but James has been ruled out of that
really?
game.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they ruled him out. And
well, they're going to get smoked regardless.
I think the Nuggets still have to play the Spurs and the Thunder.
I think the Nuggets their last game of the season is against the
but
Spurs.
I think with them, it could be a situation where for the other team, it doesn't matter.
It would be San Antonio, wouldn't matter.
Or Oklahoma City couldn't matter either, right? If Oklahoma City's wrapped up the 1 and San Antonio's wrapped up the 2, you're not playing Shea and Wemby as long as they've hit the 65 games. By that point, it's like.
So yeah, they play Friday night. Denver plays OKC. Sunday they play the Spurs.
So the Sunday game most likely will be an irrelevant game for San Antonio.
More than likely.
I think the
seeding would have more than likely been set by that point.
That should be settled.
That'd be fun to do the pod on Sunday night.
Yeah.
8:30 is the game.
Ooh, that'd be good.
It's 8:30. What is it in Denver or is it San Antonio or Denver?
In San Antonio, so that's us. It's the 8:30, so 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific.
Okay,
that's on your local broadcast.
Oh, that's gonna be good. That's gonna be good to have the results.
So I think that's a good place to end it then. And we apparently got some good news in the last hour as well. So that's the other positive, that there's going to apparently be a 2-week ceasefire, but we're still figuring it all out.
He tacoed.
You
mean the tweet that was written by someone clearly with the U.S. government sent to the Pakistani president? Is that what you're talking about?
And so we'll update you. even for no, because I think there was legitimate fear that like the U.S. was at some point going to use like that stupid term they have, tactic. There's no such thing as a tactic or nuclear weapon. It's a nuclear weapon, right?
Yeah.
But they didn't. But yeah, so on that positive note, again, everyone stay safe, keep fighting the good fight, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Why does there have to be a death hunt, Mark? Why does war even exist? Why can't we all just have a game of footy like how England beat Germany for the First World War?
I don't know how to answer that, Jeremy.